In this video, we're going to be comparing and testing a handful of different laser aiming module clones from Wadsun that have both visible and infrared lasers, specifically their newest RAID X, the MAL C1 Plus, and their NGAL clone IR lasers. So if you're curious about the features and the performance, this video will give you a good idea of what they're capable of and what some of the different options are for airsoft grade LAMs that can be paired with night vision. Before we dive in, be sure to smash the like button and make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new here. And if you're interested in picking up any of these devices, you can save 10% with the coupon code US10 on goodnightgearshop.com, which will be linked to down in the description below. Alright, so we're going to take a look at each one of these devices and then check out some laser beam shots. And we're going to start off with the RAID X, which is the most compact of the units here. And this unit has a visible green aiming laser, but you can also grab it with a red laser and also an IR laser. It has an aluminum housing, and this one is Desert Earth, but it can also be picked up in black. These buttons on top are going to allow you to adjust the brightness. This knob will allow you to select the laser mode. This switch will turn the laser on and off, or you can use the included remote pressure switch, and your zero adjustments can be made with this vertical knob on the top and this horizontal knob on the side. The RAID X prefers to run on a 16340 battery, and it can be mounted to a 20mm pick rail. Now we'll take a look at some footage from testing out the RAID X, and on the left side of the screen we'll just be using a camera so you can get an idea of how these lasers might appear with the naked eye. And on the right we've got the NVG10 digital IR night vision monocular, so you can see how they might appear under a night vision setup. Right now we're looking at the green laser mode, and this laser is visible on both cameras, and it's actually quite powerful, and with the naked eye I'm able to see the trail of the laser visible in the air, so it is quite bright and crisp, and this is going to be visible many hundreds of meters away. Now we've got the IR laser turned on, and now it's only visible under night vision and will be completely invisible to everybody else unless they too are using night vision. And if you're new to this type of technology, you can imagine how useful it might be, and although it does appear to be slightly less intense than the green laser, it is still visible at roughly the same distances. Now we'll check out the MAL C1 Plus, which is one of the bulkier LAM setups. However, it is going to be the most capable unit here, and this version has a red laser, but you can also pick it up in green or blue. It has a standard LED, an IR laser, and also an IR illuminator. The different output modes can be selected by rotating the head, and then the emitters can also be controlled independently with two separate switches. This version of the MAL is plastic, but it can also be picked up in a metal version, and this one is black, but it's also available in Desert Earth as well. Vertical and horizontal zero adjustments can be made with these two knobs on the bottom, and the MAL C1 Plus also prefers to run in a 16340 battery, and it can be mounted to a 20mm pick rail. First up, we're going to be looking at the MAL's IR laser, which is only visible under night vision, and the performance does seem pretty comparable to the other IR lasers in the lineup. Now we'll look at the red laser on the MAL, and it does appear to be less intense than the RAID X, but about the same as the red laser performance on the NGAL, which we'll be taking a look at in a little while. And the IR laser definitely seems to be more easy to see. This is the flashlight, and it is visible on both cameras, and while it is flickering on camera, it doesn't actually flicker in real life, and this is caused by the frame rate on the camera. It is brighter than the light on the NGAL, and the hotspot is more intense and would probably be useful for up to about 45 meters or so. Even with the NVG10's IR illuminator turned off, it still does such a great job of amplifying even the smallest amount of light that it's tough to distinguish the difference when the MAL's IR emitter is turned on, and this would perhaps be better tested under analog tubes, but you still do notice a slight improvement in the brightness with the IR illuminator turned on the MAL C1 Plus that would be undetectable with the human eye. The NGAL is pretty similar in size to the RAID, and in addition to the visible red laser and IR laser, it also has a white LED emitter. The modes can be selected with the switch, the power can be turned on with this button, or the included remote pressure switch, and zeroing and windage adjustments can be made with these knobs. And the NGAL also prefers to run a 16340 battery, and it can be mounted to a 20mm pick rail. We'll start off with a look at the NGAL's flashlight, and if you've been subscribed to the channel, you've probably caught some of my flashlight reviews, and at first glance this light does appear to be relatively underwhelming and would only really be useful up to about 25 meters or so, and your best bet would probably be to use it indoors. But if you don't need a lot of lumens, this light would be fine, and you could also consider running this as a backup to a primary light, and the beam angle is wider and more floody compared to the MAL C1 Plus. Now we'll take a look at the red laser on the NGAL, and even though it's not as bright as the laser on the RAID X, it's still pretty decent and visible up to a few hundred meters. Now we're looking at the IR laser on the NGAL, and it does appear to be brighter compared to the red laser, so if your primary concern is a decent performing IR laser, this would definitely be a good way to go. Thanks for watching the video, and if you want to see more content like this, be sure to smash the thumbs up button and let me know which one of these is your favorite down in the description below.